You materialize into existence with a fancy swirl pattern on your skin and absolutely zero clue about how you got here. Congrats! You're a devil fruit now. Not an apple, not a banana, but a cursed piece of produce that grants superpowers in exchange for making whoever eats you allergic to water. Yeah, swimming lessons just became pointless. Nobody really knows where you came from. Some scientist with a massive brain thinks you're basically the physical form of someone's imagination. Somebody once thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I could turn into rubber? And boom, here you are, sitting on a branch somewhere, waiting to ruin someone's beach vacation forever. The sea itself apparently hates your guts for existing, which honestly feels personal. You could be any kind of fruit. Maybe you're shaped like a regular melon, or maybe you look like a flaming hot pepper because you grant fire powers. Your appearance is basically a cosmic lottery, and there's no return policy. At least you've got those distinctive swirls that scream, I'm special and definitely not safe to eat. Too bad most pirates can't take a hint. Here's the kicker. You taste absolutely terrible. We're talking worse than expired milk mixed with gym socks. Every single devil fruit tastes like punishment, regardless of what power you grant. You could give someone the ability to control time itself, and they'd still gag on the first bite. It's basically nature's way of asking, are you really sure you want superpowers? You're hanging out on your tree or bush, minding your own business, when suddenly you get plucked by some random explorer. This person has no idea what they're holding. To them, you might just be a weird-looking snack. Or worse, they know exactly what you are and plan to sell you for millions of berries. Yeah, you're basically a lottery ticket that grows on trees. The market for devil fruits is insane. A regular fruit like you could sell for over 100 million berries. That's enough money to buy a small fleet of ships. If you happen to grant immortality or some other ridiculous power, you're worth billions. You're basically the cryptocurrency of the pirate world, except you can't lose half your value overnight. Well, unless someone eats you. Sometimes you end up in an encyclopedia. Not the kind where they talk about your nutritional value or growing season, but one that documents what horrible fate you'll inflict on whoever consumes you. Only problem? Most of these books don't have pictures, so unless you're famous like the Gomu Gomu no Mi, nobody knows what you look like. You're basically playing cosmic hide-and-seek. You might sit in a treasure chest for decades, passed around by pirates who are too scared to eat you but too greedy to throw you away. Every time someone opens that chest, you can feel their internal debate. Do I want to turn into smoke? Is being made of ice worth never taking a bath again? The answer is usually to slam the chest shut and make it someone else's problem. Then comes the big moment. Someone finally gets desperate or curious enough to take a bite. Remember that awful taste I mentioned? Yeah. They're experiencing it in full HD now. One bite is all it takes, though. The second those teeth break your skin, it's game over. Your power transfers instantly, no takebacks, no exchanges, no warranty. The really messed up part? After that first bite, you become completely useless, just a regular, terrible-tasting fruit. Some people eat the whole thing anyway, probably thinking more fruit equals more power. Nope. You're basically the world's worst dessert at that point. All your magic is gone, transferred to someone who's probably already regretting their life choices. But wait, it gets weirder. If someone tries to eat 2 devil fruits, they explode. Not metaphorically. They literally blow up like a pirate piñata. You'd think people would learn after the first few incidents, but pirates aren't exactly known for their risk assessment skills. There's only one guy who managed to eat 2 fruits without becoming human confetti, and nobody knows how he pulled it off. Your power could be literally anything. Maybe you turn people into rubber bouncy balls, or let them produce infinite amounts of mochi. You could grant the ability to transform into a mythical phoenix or just make someone really good at cutting things. It's completely random, and you have no say in it. You're basically a gotcha game that costs someone their ability to swim. Sometimes you get categorized. Paramecia if you're weird and grants strange superhuman abilities. Zoan if you let someone turn into an animal. Logia if you're the premium package that lets people become an element itself. Each type has its own perks and drawbacks, but they all share one thing. The user will never enjoy a pool party again. What happens after someone eats you? Well, you don't exactly die, you go into this weird reincarnation cycle. When your user eventually kicks the bucket, you respawn somewhere else in the world as a completely different fruit. Could be an apple in the East Blue. Could be a weird spiky thing in the New World. You have no control over where you pop up next. It's basically respawning in a battle royale with no map. The reincarnation process is instant but totally random. Your old user could die in battle, and you might immediately appear in some farmer's orchard halfway across the world. That farmer has no idea they just won the weirdest lottery possible. One day they're growing regular fruit, the next day they've got a devil fruit worth more than their entire village. Some really smart people have tried to figure out how to replicate you artificially. They've made these fake fruits called smiles that sort of work but have a 90% failure rate. The people who eat failed smiles lose their ability to swim and can only smile for the rest of their lives. Even when they're sad. Even at funerals. You're starting to look like the better option here. There's also this weird thing where objects can eat devil fruits. Yeah, you could end up being fed to a sword or a gun. Somehow this works, and now there's a elephant sword walking around somewhere. You went from being a fruit to being absorbed by an inanimate object that's now alive and probably having an existential crisis. Welcome to the club, buddy. Oh, and let's talk about awakening. Sometimes, if your user gets really good with your power, you level up. Suddenly you're not just granting basic abilities anymore. Paramecia users can affect their environment, Zoans get stronger and faster, and who knows what happens with Logius. You're basically a video game character that took decades to unlock their ultimate form. Pirates spend their entire lives searching for you. Marines have entire divisions dedicated to collecting devil fruit users. Revolutionary armies plot to steal you from government vaults. You're the center of more drama than a soap opera, except you can't even watch because you're a fruit. You just exist, waiting for someone to eat you and complain about the taste. Different cultures have different names for you too. In Wano, they call your powers sorcery. In Amazon, Lily, they think you're a curse from a gorgon. Some places think you're pure magic. The truth is, nobody really knows what you are, including you. You're just here, granting powers and ruining swim careers. Scientists like Vegapunk spend their entire careers trying to figure you out. They've discovered you alter something called the lineage factor. Basically rewriting DNA like you're doing genetic editing with a crayon. They can extract your essence, create green blood, even make lasers based on light-type fruits. You're basically the Swiss Army knife of supernatural phenomena. Here's something that'll really cook your seeds. You might be stored for centuries before anyone finds you. While you're sitting in some dusty chest, entire empires rise and fall. The Pirate King could find the One Piece, and you'd have no idea, because you're stuck in someone's attic like the world's most valuable forgotten Christmas decoration. The world government has entire classified lists of devil fruits they don't want people to know about. Your cousin, the Gomu Gomu no Mi? Yeah, turns out it's actually a mythical Zoan that they renamed to hide its true power. You could be sitting on a secret that would shake the entire world, and you wouldn't even know it because you're produce. Some of your devil fruit relatives have gotten fancy titles. The ultimate devil fruit. The strongest paramecia, the most ridiculous power in the world. These fruits get treated like celebrities while you're just hoping someone doesn't mistake you for a regular fruit and throw you in a smoothie. You know what's really wild? If you end up in the wrong hands, you could destroy the world. The Gura Gura no Mi can create earthquakes that could sink islands. The Yami Yami no Mi can nullify other devil fruit powers. You might look harmless, but you're potentially a weapon of mass destruction shaped like a pear. Eventually, someone's going to eat you. That's just how this works. They'll make that face everyone makes when they taste a devil fruit. Probably spit a little, maybe cry. Then they'll spend the next few years figuring out how your power works while accidentally activating it at the worst possible times. That person who just wanted to be stronger? Now they're uncontrollably turning into a giraffe during job interviews. But here's the ultimate cosmic joke. After granting someone incredible abilities, after being worth more money than most people see in a lifetime, after potentially changing the course of history, you respawn and do it all over again, and again, and again, forever. You're stuck in an endless cycle of being found, being eaten, watching your user probably die in some ridiculous pirate battle, and then popping back into existence somewhere else. No retirement, no vacation days, no union representation. Just an eternity of being magical produce that makes people explosive when they try to double dip, which honestly sounds like something you'd put in the terms and conditions just to mess with people. Wait, did someone seriously just try to feed you to a teapot? Yep, there it goes. Now you're part of a walking, talking tea set that's probably having the weirdest Tuesday ever.